Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, She Should Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout, kind of a companion page, so to speak, for another one I've already completed. This is going to be documenting Ohana at Disney's Polynesian Resort, and that's where you get to meet Stitch and have a wonderful breakfast. So I realized as I was doing my Disney album kind of layout share that I was missing some of the most important photos from Ohana, and that was the boys meeting Stitch. So that is what we will be documenting today. I have cut out that white kind of template of half of Mickey head. I do think I got that from a 6x8 paper and then just kind of put it onto cardstock so that I could reuse it because I like the large size. I am going to kind of stack, I'll say 2 4x6 photos on the left hand side, one of which is actually 2 2x3 photos, and then I'm going to have a 4x6 on the right. So I am going to use the red polka dotted paper for the 2 4x6 photos. I will place the Mickey head then on the top right of the layout and then kind of place the other photo underneath, kind of overlapping that. Really simple design. Came together pretty quickly, except that I do decide to stitch on the Mickey head. So that did take a little bit extra time, but I like the way that that looks. I did rough up the edges of the Mickey because I freehand cut it. I'm not very good at it, so to hide any of the flaws, I rough up the edges. Here is where I think I decide to stitch, and I really have been getting inspiration for stitching from Lisa at Life and Layout. She's been stitching a lot on her layouts, and I love the look. I just don't usually take the time to do it. I'm usually in such a hurry. So I have decided to stitch on this one. I stitched on one, think it was uploaded last week possibly, but just really like that. So I will use my poking tool and poke all the way around the Mickey head, and then I will use black thread to help it pop. I have a little bit of black in that striped paper. I did a thin strip kind of between the white cardstock and the red polka dotted paper. And I knew that I would bring in black with other embellishments as well. So when I stitch, I use 3 strands of the thread instead of all 6. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I know that there's a way that you don't have to tape the back to get it to stay, but I have yet to figure that out. So I use my washi tape that I won't ever use and tape the back to make sure that it doesn't come unraveled. And then ta-da, it's all done. I have a nice black kind of border around that. And then I did just tuck that under that black strip there. With cutting the Mickey head in the middle of the page, I was able then to use that blue cardstock for matting these photos that will be on the left-hand side of the page. I think kind of another idea I've picked up from Lisa at Life and Layouts. If you kind of mat them in the middle, you still have that outline that you can then use elsewhere. So I was happy that I could bring in some of that same blue color somewhere else on the layout because that Mickey head is so prominent. Having a little bit of blue on the left-hand side, I think, just complements that really nicely. Plus, Stitch is blue, right? Not the same shade of blue, maybe, but Stitch is definitely blue. So we brought that in to the left as well. So now just really matting my photos. To be quite honest, I can't remember. I know I have to bring in another pattern because I wouldn't just do white for Stitch. But for whatever reason, it has left my mind of what I use to double mat that photo. I tend to create in clusters and then edit when I have time. So it's been probably a week and a half, 2 weeks in between when I created this layout and when I got around to editing it. So here we go. It looks like I'm going to triple mat this photo, bring in some more black on the bottom, and then use that kind of aqua star paper to then triple matte this photo and really get it to stand out. Embellishing this one though came together really quickly, really simple. You can see I kind of have these photos towards maybe more so the bottom, and that's because I knew I wanted a title at the top. So when I start creating, I usually have a plan. I usually create a sketch kind of so that when I get to create, I can create a lot faster. So that's kind of how I'm able to kind of create in clusters. If I get a day, it's nothing for me to create 4 or 5 layouts in a school day. And that's because I have a plan, I have a sketch, I just actually have to sit down and create. So just kind of one of the many ways that I have figured out how to be more, what's the word? I don't know. On top of it, I guess. More productive. There you go. More productive. So for my title, I decided to use the foam Say Cheese. Thought that was perfect because these are just photos of all my boys saying cheese with all of the different characters at Ohana. And then I like that Yay. That is a foam sticker as well. I am pretty close to being done with all of those foam titles, so I did kind of set that one aside to use, and then I went into my Disney Flair from Scrap and Happy Studio. I have some inner creativity shop in there to see what I could use. There is this spot in the middle of all 3 of those photos on the left that I feel like I'm able to embellish there. So I am going to add just a small cluster of 3, the camera, the flare from Scrap and Happy Studio, and again, I can't remember what that 3rd item is, but I know that there will be that 3rd piece there because I do like an odd number. So I do add a brad to the middle of the camera. That would not be the 3rd piece. There's got to be another one. There we go. Trying to maneuver it in there because they are kind of thick. There's a chipboard, there's a canvas flare. So all of them are kind of large and thicker. And so just had to kind of sneak that in there a little bit. So now to, I think, the last cluster on the bottom here, I have that heart and then the yay. I think I will add some phrase stickers down there if I remember correctly. Again, one of you several months ago mentioned, why don't you have a photo or the layout in front of you when you do the voiceovers? And that actually is very helpful. Most of the time I can pull it up on my iPad as I do the voiceovers. However, today I am literally sitting in my car looking out over the lake, waiting for an appointment, and I just try to squeeze in these voiceovers whenever I have a free minute. So that's why this one I'm not 100% sure what I do throughout with, I guess, the specifics of it. I kind of have the general idea of the layout, but finishing up, sorry to go off track, but I did add some of kind of that confetti to the title at the top to bring more color up there, and then these 3 phrase stickers down at the bottom. Otherwise, I think that is just about it. I have small, puffy, kind of star-like stickers that I did add to the bottom right cluster as well here. But that is going to finish off this layout. I think this is the final layout of my Disney album. Hooray! At least for my first trip. I still have 2 other trips and another one coming up that I need to document. But hope you guys enjoyed this Disney layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.